A lot of people getting salty at Joe Rogan over this one. But, here's the deal. Joe Rogan is such a positive force, an honest guy, that no one's going to be super mad that he drank Bud Light. They're going to criticize him, try to explain to him like, hey, here's how we feel about Bud Light. And I'll do basically that. But you got this story from the street. Joe Rogan's surprise stand on Bud Light has Megyn Kelly furious. Here's the deal. When you get someone who's duplicitous and a liar and they cheat and steal for power, then they drink Bud Light, we say par for the course. You get an honest guy like Joe Rogan who speaks truth to power, one of the only media personalities we can rely on to actually have real conversations that help enlighten regular people. He drinks Bud Light. We say, hey, Joe, you're wrong on that one. Thanks for everything you do. It's really that simple. I have people talk about, they say Timcast IRL, right wing or whatever, they get all that one. And I'm like, dude, left and right today is clearly defined as living in reality or believing media narratives, right? I mean that somewhat facetiously, like left and right can mean a whole lot of things, but a big component of it. If you believe in reality, you're right wing. Reality has a right wing bias these days. And if you believe the lies from the narrative machine, you're left wing. That's really it. Because I can come out and say I'm for progressive tax and pro-choice all day and night. Doesn't matter. I can say I'm for universal health care. And they say, doesn't matter. I'm like, okay. Well, then what is that? What is it? It's because I say things like Joe Biden did engage in a quid pro quo. It's because I say things like Bud Light is corrupt and we shouldn't buy Bud Light. That's right wing. Not your policy positions, not your economic views. So here's the story. Right now, we got Anheuser-Busch Air saying the ancestors would be rolling in their grave over Bud Light's Dylan Mulvaney ad. Not to mention they've lost like $400 million or something because, sales are down. Here's a story from the street. They say a lot of right-wing commentators are mad at Anheuser. We get it. It's led to a massive boycott. They lost about 30% of its sales. Those people, however, appear to be the minority, as most of the social media posts in response to Bud Light tend to use gay and transgender slurs. Okay, I guess. Joe Rogan, however, generally leans very right-wing. I love that one. Has a very different take on the issue. And his response has infuriated far-right podcaster Megyn Kelly. I like how they say far-right. Like Megyn Kelly is like a run-of-the-mill conservative. Come on. Country singer Zach Bryan, who has openly mocked the anti-trans campaign against Anheuser-Busch, joined Rogan's show on August 1st. I've drank Budweiser and Bud like my entire adult life, Bryan told Rogan. And then on Twitter, I defended my sister's spouse. And people were pissed. And I was like, I didn't mean to do this. It was crazy. Bryan shared on Twitter that he has family transitioning and that he has blood to defend here. Full stop. No respect, Bryan. None. Somebody comes to me and my family and says I'm anorexic. I don't say, I will defend your right to stop eating. Someone in my family comes to me and they're morbidly obese. I'm going to tell them, like, get healthy, dude. I want to help. In this circumstance, you've got people, good people, bad people. But you've got people who are probably saying, hey, man, your sister's spouse needs help. And all you're doing is ignoring it. That's not a good thing. The criticism over Bud Light is not just because someone is trans. There's a lot of people on the right who support trans people. A lot of people on the right who don't. It's a cause for debate. There are conservative Trump supporting trans people. We've had them on the show. There are anti-woke trans people. There's a trans against groomers? In this instance, the real concern with Dylan Mulvaney is the targeting of children. You see? Rogan did not exactly express his support for the trans community, but he did call the culture war goofy. He said, and we're drinking Bud Lights, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, there's nothing wrong with it. People are so silly. We were just talking about silliness. One person made a really stupid decision. Now everybody's decided that Bud Light is the enemy. But that's like this thing that people do in America where they just decide, now I hate these people. These people are the enemy. All right, Joe. Friend, good sir. You have, Joe Rogan has done me tremendous favors and has really, really helped me out. I am where I am because I had a small YouTube channel. I had two channels with a combined 200 and something thousand subs. And Joe Rogan saw one of my videos. He'd been familiar with my work. He invited me on his show twice. He asked me to come and speak with Twitter execs. Really launched my career into the stars. Joe's also helped when we were having, COVID issues and stuff. So that's why I say, like, people have mad respect for him. He's a good dude. So I will only respond to this by saying this. Bud Light sponsors Dylan Mulvaney. Dylan Mulvaney represents several things that are bad for us, and that we should not support. We've got to take a stand against things that are destructive. Dylan Mulvaney targets children. The principal audience on TikTok in general is below 21. Dylan Mulvaney's audience is also substantially younger than that. Dylan Mulvaney was promoting beer to kids. Me, I don't like that. Okay? Not the biggest deal in the world, but hey, something I'm going to say, hey, don't do that. Dylan Mulvaney promotes grifting leftist ideology to young people. I personally do not believe Dylan Mulvaney is trans. I believe Dylan Mulvaney's shtick is creating a character that's trans to insult trans people. Blair White is trans, we're friends. Sarah Higdon is trans, we're friends. These are friends of the show that come on. There's many other people we've had in the show or that we're friends with. We've got no beef, none whatsoever. I want y'all to be happy. Live your lives. Man, I'm liberal, live and let live. What I don't want is the targeting of children, which is what Dylan Mulvaney does. Dylan Mulvaney insults women, insults trans people, markets this stuff to kids. And if you look at Dylan Mulvaney's TikTok, you can see this person only ever wanted fame. From the Safari videos to the, Price is Right stuff. And then finally, the big break, when Dylan Mulvaney came out as non-binary, views skyrocketed. Well, how does Dylan Mulvaney get more views then? Oh, trans. And there it is. Just celebrity garbage nonsense. And Bud Light paid for that. And we got mad about it. And for those reasons, we said, hey, I'm not going to drink Bud Light if that's the game you want to play. Now, it wasn't that big of a deal early on. Bud Light could have come out and apologized and said, we didn't mean this person's divisive and it was a mistake. They didn't. They doubled down. Then what did they do? Started sponsoring more events. The reason, my friend Joe, why people are so mad is not because one day they sponsored one thing. It's because after they did it and Bud Light's fans said, hey, this person's not a good person, Bud Light spat in their faces. Triple down, double down. Look at Yingling. What did Yingling do? Yingling sponsored a venue. That venue had an all-ages drag show. One of our fans pointed it out. So we talked about it on the show. I tweeted and said, Yingling, this stuff's not for kids. What did Yingling say? We reached out to the promoters and we agreed it should be an 18-plus event. And we said, wow, you guys are awesome. I think drag shows are fantastic. I think y'all should have all the drag shows you want, but they should be for adults. That's an adult thing. It's like gay burlesque. Kids should not be there. Yingling said, no problem. We hear you loud and clear, and we agree. And now Yingling is skyrocketing. That's what it's all about. So I don't think a lot of people really care that Joe Rogan drinks Bud Light, to be completely honest. I really don't. We did an event in Austin. No Bud Light, no Anheuser products. Why? Because they triple down. They spit in our faces. They insult us. I'm gonna vote with my dollars. That's what we do. We want to make change. We want positive change. Megyn Kelly said Joe Rogan's on the wrong side of this one, popping open a Bud Light, dismissing the whole controversy. Kelly also did not push back when Clavin openly called trans people an attack on women. Quote, so they always think it's over. They think it's finished. There's no coming back. Just give me my Bud Light and shut up. No, this time they spotted this. They spotted this movement as an attack on femininity, attack on femaleness, which is exactly what it is, in an attempt to destroy the very existence of women. Kelly did not challenge that reasoning. Why would she? This guy has never apologized. He's never owned up to it. The CEO of Anheuser-Busch, he's not sorry at all. He's only sorry that it turned into a controversy. Exactly. So I put it this way. I don't care if Joe drinks Bud Light. I honestly don't care. I see a lot of people drinking Bud Light. But I will say this. Following their insults, following their refusal to acknowledge that sponsoring Dylan Mulvaney was wrong to market beer to kids and the representation, this insult, we say no to Bud Light. At first, I told the story of I'm at a poker table at Charlestown Casino and this woman orders a Bud Light. I don't say anything. I'm going to mind my own business. I won't do that anymore. If I'm sitting down and someone orders a Bud Light, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say, after everything they did, you still want to buy their beer? And if the person says yes to me, I'll say, okay, whatever. I say the same thing to Joe. After everything they've done, you still want to crack open their beer and really? Bro, you can come out and defend, this guy, Brian, and you can say, like, I respect you for defending your family, but that ain't got nothing to do with Bud Light marketing beer to kids and insulting trans people. And therein lies the big problem. Dylan Mulvaney doesn't represent trans people. Dylan Mulvaney insults trans people. Dylan Mulvaney creates a caricature, running around in the woods in high heels, being scared of bugs, creating an insulting caricature of trans people. And when you defend that, you're not on the right side of this. You're just playing tribal games. But I got no beef, man. Not with Joe or the country singer at all. My issue is with these companies that are this corporate garbage. So I'll leave it there. Next segment is coming up at 1 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all then.